Come on in the room. Come on in the room. We have a lot to catch up on. And what better time and way to do that than while I am hiding from my children and trying to get some laundry folded. It's been a lot going on these last couple of weeks, last couple of days. I really wanted to go live last week just to try and, get consistent again with going live and everything. But last week I was not feeling good, and I'm still not feeling my best, but it's getting there. It's getting better. But let's see. So last week, what was going on? Well, I would say this is week 2, honestly, coming up on week 3, that I have not that I've been dealing with this chest cold. It's awful. And so last week, dealing with the chest cold, as well as getting ready to go out of town to Chicago to go to a conference. And I took all 4 of the kids with me. So that was a lot. Taking all 4 kids with me to Chicago. But we made it. And of course I vlogged the whole thing. So eventually I will get that edited and posted. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. But there's been so much going on in the social media world. My goodness. Hey, Deidre. I'm good. How are you? Yep, so much has been going on in the social media world. It's like, where do you even start? Where do you even start? I guess we can work our way backwards. The whole rapture thing that was going on this week on social media. And of course, Black people, we can never take anything serious. Because as soon as somebody said rapture, baby, Black people was cracking jokes. I think the funniest thing that I saw was somebody was like, so what y'all cooking tonight? Before the rapture. And somebody was like, well, I'm going to just eat out tonight because I will not be doing dishes. With my last day on earth. So funny. So funny. But people were really taking Alan, I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But people were really taking the rapture thing seriously. And I'm as a millennial, I've lived through about, I think this is my 3rd rapture that I've lived through, right? 2000 was supposed to be the rapture. And then 2012, because that's when the Mayan calendar ended, that was another rapture. And then this past week was another rapture. So it's just I guess thank God I made it through all of them. Thank you, Alan. You have a good day too. So let's see. So that's what happened with the rapture thing. But was I, and honestly, the people that were so, oh, thank you. No, Jay, I will not, because I already have 4 children of my own with my husband, and we are not My husband is not having it. For no more children. So, no. Sorry. Absolutely not. Let's see. So, Rapture Ready. I have a list of things on my kid's tablet to make sure that I remember what it is that I wanted to talk about on this here live today. Jay, this doesn't even sound legal. Sorry, sir. Doesn't even sound legal. Okay, so the other thing that happened in social media that had everybody in an uproar was, hi, Master Zone. Hi, Benjamin. Was the whole Charlie Kirk assassination thing, which, like I said, caused a whole uproar on social media. And on my timeline personally, I never saw anybody like celebrating that he, was assassinated. I never saw people saying that. But what I did see was a lot of people talking about, it's so insensitive for you guys to be laughing and celebrating death and da 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 da. And I was just like, who is doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is really celebrating death? I didn't see that on my timeline at all. And so, of course, with that, it triggered, the whole conversation again of like differences of political views and, people talking about, well, we can't be friends just because we have differing political views. And the only thing I want to say concerning that is difference of political views is like, how do we use taxes, right? Who gets taxed, the rich or the poor? Trickle down economics. Like, those are different political views. But if your political views are racist, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, rooted in racism, like, that's not a difference of political views. Like, that's something totally different. And there is no way that we could be friends with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, well, just because we, don't agree on politics doesn't mean that we can't be friends. You're right. Just because we don't, just because we have differing opinions on politics, we can still be friends. Absolutely. But if your views on politics is like rooted in racism, no, we cannot be friends. I'm sorry. We just can't. Because I don't feel safe, right? Like, I do not feel safe. If you support, if your political view is to support somebody who would want to like put me and people who look like me back in chains, like, no, we can't be friends. If if you support people that are, just saying off the wall things like, questioning a Black woman's education or questioning, birthrights and citizenship and all just crazy stuff. Like, if that's the type of person you support, then no, I'm sorry, we can't be friends because we obviously like don't have values that align. Like, no, we can't be friends. So yeah. Yeah, so that was crazy. And what's crazy is the same day, my last live, the same day that I was talking about social media being like too loud and everybody having think pieces and just the whole thing, like, is the same day that happened. And like like I said, everything just like blew up on social media, and everybody had a think piece. Everybody had something to say. And it was just like, y'all just doing too much. People was just doing way too much. And I saw somebody on Threads who made a valid point that was just like, listen, you don't have to like make a post on social media in order to share your thoughts on, whatever's happening like in culture. Like it is perfectly normal and okay to just text your friend group or just call like a close friend and process that way. Like you don't have to feel pressured to make a whole book and status like on social media to process different things that are happening in culture. And I was like, that is so true. Because I really do think that like that's part of the, I say blessing, but also downfall of social media, is that social media gives everybody a platform, which is a good thing because there are voices and talented people that we would never know unless social media, got them out there like that, which that's a great thing. But then the bad thing about social media is that it gives everybody a platform. And there are some people that be on there talking that should not be talking. There's some people on there that has all this influence that really should not have any influence, because people following them and believing them, and they about to lead people right to a burning hell. It is just it's a mess. It is a mess. Prayer has got me through this week. Last Sunday was so powerful. On Sunday, I really needed everything I got on last Sunday. Well, that's so good, Deidre. I'm glad you got what you needed. Very glad you got what you needed. Let's see. So yeah, okay. So that's all I'm gonna say about the social media piece. I'm gonna go back to my handy dandy list so I remember what I wanted to talk about. Okay. All right. So last live, we were talking about the mahogany situation. So if you don't know about the mahogany situation, quick recap. So it was the beginning of a service. The praise team is up looking like they are about to go into worship. The first lady stands up of the church, and she's up there, I think, to do like a scripture reading. And she basically calls out the worship leader and is just like, I'm openly rebuking this girl because she gave me a different hug, and we not gonna have that in this church, da 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 da. So pretty much the girl gets fired on the spot, right? And so social media again in a whole uproar about the situation. And come to find out later on, the whole worship team ended up quitting. Y'all, I know. They ended up quitting. So, and that was and that's not something that I just like somebody commented and said like, oh, I hope they all quit. No, like one of the praise team members that goes to the church was like, no, we all quit. We all left the church. So I was like, oh, that's sad. But again, the first lady was like, she felt led by God to do that, to clean house. And it's like, oh yeah, baby, you clean house all right, because ain't nobody left. There is nobody left. But again, like I said last time, if the Holy Spirit was really the leading, really the one leading that moment and leading that moment of correction, like he does things right decently and in order. He does things from a place of love. And if the Lord was really leading that moment, I think he would have made provision for the hearts of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that people would have left as hurt and as bitter and as offended if the Lord was really leading her, to do that. So, and the fact that, so many people are hurt and broken, and there's no like reconciliation, there's no love, there's no peace concerning that. Like, that lets me know like the Holy Spirit was not at work. You know what I'm saying? Because, and that's not to say that everybody, like, bringing correction is feels good. Like, correction doesn't always feel good, right? Getting people in order, having hard conversations does not feel good all the time. Um, but, and with that being said, there is a way that you do things, right? There's a way that you handle people, and that wasn't it. That was not it. The way that first lady handled that, no, that wasn't it. That was a mess, a whole mess, a whole mess. All right, so let me take a break from my list. We got 3 people watching. Oh, sure, no problem, Deidre. Um, who else is watching? I know Deidre was watching. But who else is watching? You just drop a comment in the chat if you can. I know somebody probably at work listening in. Not even supposed to be on their phone, but they are. Meanwhile, this chest cold has me coughing like I've been smoking 6 packs a day for the last 30 years. I'm like, come on, Lord. It's going on Sunday. If I'm still coughing by this coming Sunday, it'll be 3 weeks that I've had like this lingering cough. It's just awful. And thankfully, like, I haven't developed like any new symptoms. So it's just still like this lingering thing. And I'm just like, Lord, please don't let me like develop anything crazy like bronchitis or the flu or, walking pneumonia. Like, Jesus, please help me, Lord. Just please help me, Jesus. Okay, so on a personal tip, right? My daughter is in kindergarten, and I decided that I was going to join the PTA. Oh, just to be involved, just to, see what's going on at the schoolhouse. Just keep an eye on stuff, show my face, because I am I'm an involved parent. Hello. So went to my first PTA meeting, and I was so thrown off by the meeting because they just jumped right into the agenda, like wasn't. And I guess because I'm a church girl, I grew up Baptist, right? And so if Baptists know how to do anything, Baptists know how to have a meeting, okay? They are very, very business oriented, like in the Baptist world. And so, like, and just in church business in general, like, you always start off with prayer, welcome, and then you go into your agenda, right? But I guess this is the first time that I've been in a meeting in a long time that wasn't like in a church. And so when they're like, okay, we're calling this meeting to order, like, I'm gearing up for a prayer. I'm like, okay, so who about to pray? Nobody prayed. They was like, well, the time is 5:36. We'll call this meeting to order. So first thing on the agenda is, and I was like, I feel uncomfortable here. I feel uncomfortable. Ain't nobody gonna pray. No, nobody prayed. Which, of course, they're not going to. It's school. It's a school meeting. This is not Christian, faith-based, nothing. Of course, they're not gonna pray. But my mind was just, it was hard to just not to have that, I guess, you know. But anyways, so yeah, that happened. And let me see. There was something else I wanted to say about that. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the fun events, right? But they had some really cool, like, fun events they gonna do for the kids. Like trunk or treat was cool. They had a family bingo night last night that I didn't get to go to. Um, but I'm like, okay, these are some cool little fun events for the kids. They have like a winter wonderland dance coming up, and I'm like, okay, is that open to the entire school or just, you know, the older kids? Because I'm just like, my baby in kindergarten, my baby gonna go to her first dance in kindergarten? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see about that. But they also had like this like music bingo, which I don't really know how that works, but I'm like, ooh, we need to do that at church, you know? That's a cool little event. Um like team building event or just like a family night event at the church. Some music bingo with some good old gospel music, you know? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and the last thing I want to say about the PTA thing is like, I'm really that mom. Like, and that's like really settling in. Like, I'm really that mom that's like going to the PTA meetings and, you know, got my baby in school and just trying to be involved in like, you know, I want to volunteer for like classroom parent and just, you know, all the things. Like, I I'm enjoying this season. I guess I'll say that. I said say it like that. Like, I'm enjoying this season of like parenthood and school life and having my baby, you know, in kindergarten and everything. And she got her like first permission slip to go on a field trip. And I mean, it's just, it's so cute. It is so cute. But the funny thing that happened though, she came home. Well, she got in the car after school one day and she was like, she's like, yeah, mommy, I got some milk today. And I was like, where you get some milk from? And she was like, the cafeteria. I was like, why did you get milk from the cafeteria and you have your water bottle? And she was like, well, I forgot my water bottle in the classroom. And I was like, oh. And I was like, they didn't let you go get it? And she's like, no. So she was like, so I asked for some milk. I said, oh, okay. I didn't think anything of it, but I'm just like, but I had a brief thought, like, they charge for that milk, you know? They charge for milk. So what is going on here? So next thing I know, I get an email later on talking about a 50-cent charge was on Avery's lunch account for that milk. And I'm like, are you serious? But yes, they are very serious for that 50 cent. I just gotta, and I keep forgetting to send 50 cents with her to school so she can, you know, pay, you know, put that on the account and pay off that little milk she got. But hey, Tim, and pay off that little milk she got. But and they are serious about that 50-cent milk, because when I tell you, I keep getting emails every day reminding me that Avery has a charge on her account for some milk. I'm like, if y'all don't leave me alone about this 50 cents for this little milk, Lord. But they are serious about that little milk. So do I love fur coats? That is a very interesting question. No. I mean, I like them. They're cool. I have a couple, but I wouldn't say that I love them. I would not say that I love them. Okay, let's see. What's next on the agenda? Fall festival. Okay, so we went to a fall festival a couple of weeks ago. That was really cool. They had it's called like a bubble bus. You own them for and would like to sponsor. Oh, really? Nice. That's really nice. So what about me says that I would be a good what would you call it? Influencer or a good something for like to sponsor for some fur? Do you think I would just look good like in a fur coat? Like what about me is giving fur? I guess that's my question. What is giving fur for me? But we went to this little fall festival. They had like a bubble bus, which was really cool. And I don't know. I just was not expecting the kids to get as dirty. I have great style. That is so interesting. Well, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. I think my email is in my bio. So if you would like, you can go to my channel and send me an email and we'll see what what happens. But you can definitely do that. But anyways, yeah, I was not expecting the kids to get as dirty as they did. And Carter, bless his heart, he's 2. He ended up getting like bubble solution. Send me an email. Send me an email and we can talk about it. So, but yeah, he ended up getting bubble solution in his eyes, which then prompted him to rub his eyes. But he had been on the ground, so he got dirt, bubble solution all in his eye. He's like screaming, and I'm trying to get him to calm down so he can tell me like what's wrong, and I'm trying to fix it, trying to get him cleaned up. We're outside, so it's not like there's any like actual public restrooms to go to help him get cleaned up. And thankfully they had like these look like portable sinks basically that you could go wash your hands at after like the porta potty or whatever. And so I'm like dragging him like down the street through this festival trying to get to these sinks so I can like clean and wash his face and wash his hands and get his eyes cleaned. And people was just staring. I'm pretty sure they was like, is she trying to kidnap this boy? No, I am not trying to kidnap this boy. This is my son. But I'm just trying to get to the sink and get him together because, oh my gosh, he just, Lord, he was screaming. And I know it hurt. I know it did. And he kept trying to wipe his eyes. And, oh God, it was so awful. And it was embarrassing. And it was so much going on. So much going on. But it was cool. It was cool though. That's what I've been trying to do for the past the past couple of months, like just trying to just make good memories, with my kids. And I'm ready to be outside. It's like the weather's changing, it's getting cold or cooler, but like I am just trying to be outside right now. Like I'm done breastfeeding. The twins are 1 now. So I'm just like, I can move around. I can do whatever I want to do. We got 2 cars now. So, I'm not bound by transportation. I'm not bound by a breast pump. Like, I want to be outside. And that's what we've been doing. We have been outside, and we were actually supposed to go apple picking today, which was going to be a really cool activity. But we just gonna have to move it to another day because the kids are sick. I'm still coughing. And I was like, we just gonna sit down and we just gonna rest and get ourselves together, and we'll find another day to go apple picking. But you know what? I feel like it is highway robbery with these apple picking orchards because looking up prices, why is it more expensive on the weekends than during the week? Like, come on now. Come on. But, you know, everybody need to make their money. Everybody need to make their money. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so that was the fall festival. Let's see what else is on my agenda. Oh, Avery ran off. Right. Okay. So at the fall festival, uh, it's by where we live. So of course, it makes sense that Avery sees some of her classmates from school. Cool, no problem. But next thing I know, I see her running away from the area where we are. And I was like running after her, like, where are you going? And she's like, but my friend, I see my friend. I'm like, I get it. And I'm pretty sure her friend thought that I was like, and the people, like the parents thought I was like doing too much. But I'm just like, girl, this is a public space. I know that you see your friends, but you cannot just run away, without telling me where you're going. Like, yeah, you see your friend. That's great. I don't want to stop you from playing with your friend, but girl, stranger danger. Hello. You could get stolen. Girl, and I don't know where you at. And it was a whole bunch of kids, a whole bunch of people. Like, it was too much. I was like, girl, you can't be running off like that. Can't be running off. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, hi. So, last week we went to the Ignite conference with Bishop Brandon Jacobs and Lady Vivian Jacobs in New Zion Temple. And it was in Chicago, which is about like 4.5 hours away. Is it Amira? Amira? But yeah, so we went to that conference and I took all four of the kids with me because I honestly had excuse me. I honestly registered to go to this conference a year ago. Hi, Amira. So, yeah, I had registered to go to this conference a year ago, and I had originally wanted to just go by myself. Like, I didn't want to take the kids with me, but but as we got closer, my husband got a new job, and I knew that there was no way that he was going to be able to, stay home with them and all that kind of stuff, like with this new job. So I was like, okay, I will just take the kids with me. And I vlogged everything. So in the vlog, you'll see that whole part. But it honestly wasn't a bad, like, ride, wasn't a bad drive. Big Body Beans, which is my nickname for our car. We got a Yukon XL. So so Big Body Beans hailed everybody. And that was my first time taking her on the road. And Big Body did so good. Like, it only took me half a tank of gas to get to, Chicago from here. It's 4.5 hours, half a tank. And I was like, okay, Big Body. She was doing it. But so we get there. The hotel was really nice. It was in Oak Brook, which I'm assuming, because I don't know a whole lot about Chicago, but I'm assuming that it is like, whatchamacallit? What you call it? Like a suburb, right? Of Chicago. And it was like, it was a good area. It was a nice area, meaning like everything that we needed was within like 10 minutes driving distance, and they had good food around there. It was across the street from the mall, which we never made it over to the mall. But it was, just a good little area. Traffic wasn't ever too bad. With it being like across the street from the mall, you would think like traffic would be like crazy and congested, but it never was. And we left at different times of the day, and it never was too crowded, too congested or anything. So that was really cool. Um and we weren't able to make it to the entire conference because my daughter having school and everything, and I didn't want her to miss 2 days of school. So the conference went from Thursday to Sunday, and we were only able to be there Friday through Sunday. And wasn't even a whole day on Sunday, just the morning service, or yeah, the morning and the afternoon service on Sunday. But anyways, we got there about Friday midday, maybe about noon, and we were able to make it to one of the classes and then the night service. And my biggest thing was I wanted to try and get there for Bishop S.Y. Younger, because I listen to him a lot. Like literally, anytime I open up YouTube, the very first video that I see is always going to be a video by Bishop S.Y. Younger, because of how much like I listen like to his videos like on YouTube. I just let him play. Like I go to his channel and just let the videos play, because it's always just so good. But anyways, um but I was able to sit in a class with him, and he honestly didn't even get to teach. Like he just kind of just like flowed kind of like prophetically, and just kind of facilitated like a worship like hour, honestly. um which was cool, like I enjoyed being in that atmosphere, like with him while he was facilitating that. So man, that was cool. And then I wanted to see Pastor T. Renee Glenn, which I saw her on Saturday, and that was so good. That was so good too. She was talking about how God, like how we are the inhabitation of God. And um yeah, yeah. I can't even like really go into detail about that, cuz that was just like so like theologically like rich, biblically rich. Like she walked the scriptures like proving, I guess, that the Holy Spirit lives within us. And she's basically talking about like that's how it was always supposed to be from the beginning of time. Like he was always supposed to um be with us and us with him, and starting from the garden, and just, I mean, just all the things. It was so good. It was so good. um but yeah, but taking 4 children to a conference was difficult. It was difficult. My mom went with me, so even though I had help, it was still hard. Like we had to sit in the very back because the kids, we had the wagon, and it was just easier just to sit in the very back and sit by the door so that we could get up and go out when we needed to. And man, it was just, yeah, it was just a lot. But I was glad to be in the room. Like that was one of my biggest things, was I just have to be in the room. Like, they had like a VIP thing where you could like sit, towards the front, and they had something where it was like I think it was like a brunch or something for the VIP registrants, which was cool. But I was like, I don't even need all that. I just need to be in the room. And so I'm really grateful that I had that experience. to just be in the room, you know? So it was good. It was really good. Hi, is it Rado? Oh wow, this is deja vu. This is such deja vu. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right, next thing. Oh, right, that was the other thing. So they ended up having worship leader sessions, which I really as a worship leader, I wanted so badly to be in the worship leader sessions. But unfortunately, I couldn't make it to any one of them. They had one Wednesday night before the conference started, so I knew for sure I was going to miss that one. But then they had another one on Saturday morning that I, was going to try and go to. But that started at 9, and I have, again, 4 children that I am, managing and trying to make sure that they eat. And, I, again, wasn't feeling like my best because, like I said, I've been dealing with this chest cold for like the past 3 weeks or so. So even while I was at the conference, like, I'm sick at the conference, wearing my mask, taking my medicine, all that stuff. But like, I was just like, ugh, I couldn't make it. So that was a bummer. But I totally plan on going back and, attending next year. And so hopefully next year I will be able to be in those worship leader sessions next year because I didn't make it this year. So, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Like, why do we have so many clothes? It's so crazy. Like, I feel like this is, as a stay-at-home mom, I feel like this is one of the things that, like, I do all the time. And it's just like, I feel like I can't get to anything else or any other, like, task because I'm always doing laundry or cleaning the kitchen. Like, those are the 2 things that I am always doing. And I'm like, I feel like I cannot get to anything else on my to-do list because these 2 things take up so much time. And I don't even really get to finish them because, like, in the middle of doing it, I'm like being pulled on by a baby or by a kid to get juice and get snacks, and it's just like, okay. Like, okay. Goodness gracious, what is... Okay. Hey, Tyler. Nothing much. Listen, I was cracking up at Deja's TikTok about like reading the Bible. And it was your voiceover. And oh gosh, when I tell you, I laughed until I started coughing. It was so it was so funny. Oh gosh. It was the begat this one and begat that one. And then you was like, so who's Abraham's daddy? Or who's somebody's daddy? And then you started talking louder. Oh God, it was so hilarious. Sorry, I missed the party. Dejan was... Oh, good. You guys are so welcome. Listen, I'm working on trying to get thank yous out for the girls' gifts. So thank you guys so much for their gifts. It just, yeah, we it took us 2 days to get through like all of the gift bags, and so I'm slowly working on it. But y'all are so welcome, and thank you so much for their gifts. Absolutely perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But yeah, I am telling you, I was cracking up at that video. So funny. So, so funny. What is this? Is this not? Okay. Socks. Mix matching socks. I just can't. And there's like, and where do they be going? Why can I only find one sock? And so after a while, like I just start pairing up mix match socks. If you got on two different color socks, you just got it on, because I don't know where the socks are. I just and these socks ain't gonna stress me. These socks are not going to stress me. Just I don't care. I don't care. As long as you got two on, it is what it is. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. Been thinking about my brother a lot. Me too. Yeah. Definitely do that, because when I tell you, he has just been working, like, that's it. He go to work and come home. Go to work, come home. And that's it. So yeah, definitely reach out. Send a little encouraging, word, because that's all he been doing lately. And and then on his days off, he's really not getting a whole lot of like rest, because then he's shifting his focus to, okay, what needs to be done around the house, and things at church and everything. So yeah, absolutely reach out. I know he would definitely love to hear from you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so next thing on the agenda to talk about is one of the things that I try to do as a worship leader before service starts. I try to go down into the congregation and just talk with people. Check in with people, hug people, because a lot of times, like as a worship leader, I'm there before everybody, and usually I'm there after everybody is already gone too, right? So that like small time before service starts is really the only time that I really get to like talk to people. So anyways, I was doing that, and I started talking to one of the members of the church that I usually don't get to like stop and have like in-depth conversation with. It's usually just like a, hey, how you doing? Bye, see you later, and then like on to the next thing. But I stopped and I talked with her for quite a while. And when I tell you, like, that conversation blessed me so much, and it's been 2 weeks since I had this conversation, and I'm still like thinking about the things that she shared and was talking about. And so one of the things that she said um that was so good to me, she said that she's content with her life. But even though she's content with, her life, and she's like 60s, 70s, right? So she's like already been married. She's a widow. Like she's lived, okay? But she was like, she is so content with her life. But even though she's content, she's still striving to do new things. And so she, growing up like in St. Louis City, she never learned to drive. Her husband just always did all the driving, and she just pretty much was a passenger princess. But when he passed away, she decided to learn how to drive, right? And then even after she learned how to drive, then it was like, okay, now I got to get me a car. And so that's been like a whole like journey for her, a whole new experience, learning how to drive, getting a car, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, and so just what I took away from that is like, you can be content with your life, but it's okay to still desire new things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even if you are older or whatever, like, you can still strive for new things. Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's never too late to learn something new. It's never too late to experience something new. Like, just because you're older or whatever, like, that does not mean that life is over. Like, get up, try something new. Keep striving for something different. There are so many gems among our churches, and we will never know. I love that you attempt to connect with the crowd before ministry. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Tyler. Because one thing I've found too is like, when you connect with people, well, definitely when you connect with people before you minister to them, it makes the ministry just more powerful, because it's like, oh, I don't I don't want to say it's like familiarity, but there is a certain level of trust, and relationship that's needed before you can minister, to a person, a minister effectively. Um, and then nobody wants to, especially in church, it's like, like, you want to sing to me, you want to preach to me, but I can't even get a hi. You know what I'm saying? Like, you too grand to just be a normal person. You know what I'm saying? So, like, so that, that investment in those relationships, it's just, it's so important. It is so important. And then I've also found too that, especially as a worship leader, um, which a lot of my job as a worship leader is to be an intercessor. Talking with people lets me know how to pray for them. You know, talking with people also lets me know uh what words to use while I'm leading. Because one of the things that I have learned recently is that oftentimes, as a worship leader, when I'm exhorting, I'm also teaching people what to say to God in worship. Because literally, although we are all created to worship, we're all created to praise, a lot of people don't know how. Although we're supposed to, have these, this prayer life with the Lord, a lot of people literally don't have language. And so when I am up exhorting, not only, hey Tiara, my condolences to you, okay? I know what that's like. I'm sorry, pivoting for just a second. I know what that's like. I lost my father in January of 21. So I know. I know. I'll just say that. I know. So if you need any support, prayer, somebody to talk to, somebody to vent to, my number is still the same. It has not changed at all. So if you need anything, support, a laughter, a conversation, just to get your mind off of everything, you just let me know, because my number is still the same. And I understand. I understand. So, sending you love, sending you guys hugs, sending you guys my condolences, just all the things, because I truly, truly, truly understand. And I'm so, so sorry for your loss. Okay, sorry. um, but here's another example too. Like, you know, when different things in life, love you, you're so welcome. When different things in life happen, like grief, or like for St. Louis, we had those tornadoes a couple of years, not a couple of years ago, a couple of months ago. And we had people in our church who literally lost their homes. Like, they were near death. Like, the back of their house got ripped off while they are holding on to furniture for dear life. Like, and they're still coming to church they don't always have the words for what to say in a worship moment. And so, as a worship leader, number one, being aware of what's going on in somebody's life helps me to know um, how to intercede for them, but it also helps me to know what to say in my exhortation to the Lord. So, for example, I had somebody tell me, I asked them how they were doing, and they told me they felt depleted, but they were still at church. They were still serving. They were on their post, but they were depleted. So when I stood up to exhort, that's what I said. I said, Father, we are depleted. Father, we are tired. Father, we don't have the words, but we're here and we're giving you the best that we have, and little becomes much in your hands. And just, you know, and we trust you with what we have, and we trust you in the situation, and we're asking for you to, to help us, and all that kind of thing. But again, like I said, that was that's part of my job, is giving language to people for what they're going through in life, because the reality is that, again, like I said, everybody is supposed to be a worshiper. We were created to worship. We were created to praise. But everybody just doesn't have that relationship with the Lord to where they know what to say and they know how to praise in spite of. They just don't. They just don't. And it's in those moments that worship leaders, if we're not mindful of that, I think that's how we slip into the beating people up and hollering at people. Come on, you act like God ain't done nothing for you, and da 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 da, and you need to do this and you need to do that, and God da da da, just yelling. And it's like, listen, you yelling at me is not like that. Like, that's not encouraging me. That honestly makes me feel worse, because I want to worship. I do want to praise, but I don't have the strength. I don't have the words. I don't know how. I'm hurt. I'm angry. All these different things that people are processing through. And it's not that they don't love the Lord. It's just, I don't know how. And somebody has to teach them how, giving language to people. That's so humbling, because we are the ones who have to go through to learn that. Hello, you said it. We are the ones that have to go through to learn the language to teach someone else. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And that okay, moment of transparency here. So, okay, before I talk about that, let me say this. When I was in college, I remember the Lord telling me that from great pain comes great ministry. And basically, he was, just telling me, like, the things that you are going to go through, the pain, the heartbreak, those things are not just for you. These are the things that you have to go through because it's going to help somebody else. Your testimony is going to help somebody else. So hence, Safe Space with Soraya, where I share my life and share the things that I go through, and share, the heartbreaks and the wins and the lessons and all the things, because I understand that my life isn't just for me. I don't go through just for me, but I go through, for other people. So with that, recently I have, of course, we have 4 children. And that's hard, okay? I'm not even gonna hold you. Having 4 children is hard. Having a big family, multiple children, like, it sounds cute. It looks cute in pictures, right? When they get older, they're gonna have friends. Like, their first friends are each other. Like, it's cute to hear their laughter and their little feet. And I mean, it's cute, but it's hard raising 4 children. It is hard. Trying to feed 4 children. Like, it is hard. Parenting 4 children with 4 different personalities. And I mean, it is hard. And so a lot of my time is just managing my children and managing the household and trying to make sure we eat, while also trying to, make sure that my marriage, I'm giving attention to my marriage, while also trying to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. Like, I've been sick for the past couple of weeks. But does that mean that I stop, taking care of everybody else? No. My children still come to me for everything. So give me just a second, okay?
Yeah.
Like I just said, my children still come to me for everything. Here we are. But anyways, so I say all that to say, like, I have not been able to really, like, invest in my relationship with the Lord like I really want to. Like, the reading, the studying, the time in prayer. I've not been able to do that like I want to, because there's just not enough hours in the day for everything, And so I'm just like, Lord, I feel kind of like stagnant in a sense. And I want more. I want, like more anointing, and I want, more power, and I want to, be more effective, like when I'm leading worship and everything. But along with that, asking for more of the Lord, I know that that also means that I'm asking for more warfare too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, so how this relates to what we're talking about is like, I know that like I'm going to have to go through in order to get that more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's like my husband said this back in college, but he was like, think about video games. And it's like, when you go up a level in your video game, that's a new level of like tasks. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing in life. It's like when you go up another level in ministry and anointing, those are new demons. Those are new battles. Those are new tasks. And so for me, it's like asking for more. I know that there's going to be something that I'm going to have to battle. There's going to be another enemy that I'm going to have to fight. And I know that it's going to be to my benefit, to my benefit and to the benefit of others. But I'm just like, Jesus, I don't know if I really have the energy to fight right now. I don't know if I have the energy to go through right now to get that more. And that's just where I am. And so yes. My children have found me.
Hello.
Okay. Can you go get baby sister some tissue, please? Thank you. Okay. So yeah, that's where I am. Just trying to, Avery, please stop slamming the door. Thank you.
But you want a meeting. That's why you keep closing the door.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, Mama, I'm coming. So, anyways, yeah, that's where I am right now, is like wanting more, but knowing that more requires requires some fight. And I just don't know if I have the fight in me right now. Please get down. And my husband was like, well, you're going to have to fight regardless, which is true. Like, fighting, warfare, just all the things like that's gonna happen regardless. And so I guess he was like, so if you have to fight regardless, fight. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get off because my children have invaded. And my children have invaded, and I made it to the end of my list of things that I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, I do have a vlog that's premiering today at, I think, 4 o'clock. Oh, you're so welcome, Tyler. Thank you. I appreciate you and your contributions to the conversation. Say, girl, bye. Got your dirty nose. Look, the one giggling and sniggling is the one that keep getting everybody sick in the house. So I'm just like, girl, please. Oh, but I have a vlog that's premiering today at 4. So
It's
make sure you guys come back, check that out to see that vlog. And yeah, that's it. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm trying to get back consistent with going live. So at least once a week, I'm trying to make sure I pop up and show my face. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's been, and my mind trying to tip over the phone. Jeez, let me wrap this up. Anyways, okay, what I was gonna say doesn't even matter anymore. All right. Thank y'all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.